YouTube, how's everybody doing? We have a breaking news video, I guess. In the middle of the day, I'm in the office chilling, and then bam, patch notes come out, update 29, light and darkness. And I just walked out of the office, like I'll be back in like 20 minutes. I'm gonna go record this thing real quick, post it because I wanna read through this right now, but I haven't yet. First impressions on this video, and we're gonna go over things. I know a little bit of what's coming in this update, but I might have a little bit of extra insight. So if you guys like these videos where we cover patch notes and all that stuff, make sure you're dropping a like on the video and of course subscribing to the channel. Update 29, Light and Darkness. Light and Darkness will come out on January 7th, 2020 at 6 a.m. UTC, and it'll be 3-hour downtime plus, you know, the usual extra hour and a half to 2 hours after we get extra with apologies and more gems. But that's how it works. It is what it is. The first brand new thing, all new season of Conquest for the Lost Kingdom. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, as we said, a brand new Lost Kingdom mode. We've been waiting on it. The idea was for it to come out for season 3. It did not pan out that way. And now we finally have it. Light and Darkness will go live within 2 weeks after the update. Does this mean that after the 7th, so 21st, is when Light and Darkness starts? And so if that's the case, what about the kingdoms that are in KVK Season 3 right now? And who's going to participate? Oh man, this is going to be interesting. All right. So you have an image right here, Light and Darkness. It looks like 2 teams of 4 get to fight for it. That's what it looks like. You have the Twilight as always, Past Glory, Honor Roll, Crusader achievements, and Light and Darkness. Interesting. When Light and Darkness intertwine, the gate to conflict and war shall open. Okay. A brand new play mode is coming to the Lost Kingdom. Kingdoms that have gone through Lost Kingdom Season 1 and 2, hence why we figured it would be Season 3, will be eligible for first play mode of the new season of Conquest, Light and Darkness. Our brand new map, kingdoms can team up with each other and compete against each other in teams in a seriously epic 4v4 battle. Will light expunge darkness out of our world, or will darkness devour all the light? Brace yourselves for action-packed battles that keep you on the edge of your seat. Man, oh man. So there are a couple of things we gotta take out of this first little bit of information we have of this update, right? First and foremost, a brand new map. What I can tell you is that I am fairly confident that what we're going to see is a circular type of map rather than what we saw so far. I believe the brand new map finally addresses the whole corner kingdoms issue. And I'm pretty confident that even though it's a 4v4, it'll force essentially 1v1s through the phases to essentially progress or something like that. That's what I'm assuming here. The next thing that we see here is kingdoms can team up with each other, which means, do we pick who our allies are? Do we create a team of light and a team of darkness? Is it like set kingdoms? What is it going to be like? Ignore this, chat, okay, guys? Don't look at this picture as like given. Remember, this is just for demonstration purposes. Obviously, all of these kingdoms are either in their Lost Kingdom right now, Season 3, or, well, a few other situations. Most of them should be in Season 3 right now. I mean, Kingdom 51 should be there, 17, 29, all of these guys. So this is irrelevant. Forget about those kingdoms. Brand new KVK. Cool. I'm really looking forward to get more information, but I really hope that essentially what ends up happening is that, you know, those who started Season 3 get screwed by having to finish Season 3 and go through the craziness that is KVK in order to get here while the rest are going to get a pass on it. Does that mean that the top 32 kingdoms, or at least the folks who are in the first batch of the top 32, really are getting screwed here? The timing on this isn't really the best, but hopefully we'll be able to cover this and get into a kingdom that'll have this happen and potentially, you know, play the event to a certain extent. New conquests, Barbarian Camp and Barbarian Keeps, gradually opens up to all kingdoms within a week after the update. That's good to know. Two powerful barbarian chieftains and their followers have invaded our land. They have set up camp, strategic positions surrounded by dangerous terrain, have built arrow towers that shoot incredible distances. These barbarians will actively attack any invaders who dares to intrude their territory. The upside of all this, they happen to carry with them loads of precious, rare equipment. Take arm, warriors. It's time to defend our land. Oh my goodness. So my theory of what this is, when we saw it, one of the theories was that this is those coves that you have on the map right now that already exist. And I know that the banner is kind of blocking some of the picture, but you're not missing much. Just like the power of this guy. What this is the coves on the map will now have these barbarian chieftains, whatever it is. And it looks like Cheesecake was in here playing this. 290 million power. I see you, Cheesecake. Rare equipment. Is this how we finally break the such expensive level of spending you need to have in order to get the proper gear for purple and gold? Is this how we're gonna get bigger, stronger material pieces, or is this full equipment? I'm guessing we're gonna see an equipment update as well. More equipment will come in. And if you ask me, I think that this is gonna be more like dropping purple and even gold potential like materials. But more often than not, we'll get like grays or blues. And like, I'm assuming that it'll be actually rare to get good stuff out of it. But if this is a not pay to win, natural way for you to be able to fight these things together as a group, or however your kingdom decides to do it, to get materials, individuals can get materials out of this and equipment out of this, I love it. I really do. This is actually a good opening for a low spender or a free-to-play player to get a rare piece, which he or she might not necessarily use to make like epic or legendary gear. But if you get one legendary piece, you can, with some gold, break it down to more blues and more purples, so forth and so on, and get yourself those blue and even green equipments much, much faster. Even if you get epic pieces for free out of this, hell, epic materials give you 4 blues out of them. I love it. Now, if you guys are hearing a little bit of background noises, I apologize for that. Neighbors down below are renovating, and it's middle of the day. I literally left the office to record this and go through this with you guys. So they're at the top of their work. It is what it is. Second thing about this update, I love it. First thing is obviously the new KVK. I dig it. I feel like they're going in the right direction. I just really hope that those who started season 3 don't get screwed by not being able to be in here, and now they got to wait for the first season of this to end somewhere else. It could be a mess. So really hope that they figure out how to do this so that we can have some action in there too very quickly, rather than be on the second set of these. What else we got? And yeah, the second thing, new conquests, barbarian camps and barbarian keeps. I love it. I love it. The more you add onto the map that gives us more things to do on the day-to-day, the better. And yes, this is another type of barbarian hunting, but it's kind of like a different good type, right? We're working here for equipment, for materials. This is actually pretty dope. I like it. The Ark of Osiris skill system will go live right after the update. So the speculation was that in Ark of Osiris, the skills would only be available for Osiris League, but no. Ark of Osiris has its skills now available. There is a whole Ark of Osiris tutorial here with skill system. Let's read through this really quickly, see if we understand things better. The Ark of Osiris, alliance leaders and titled officers can set skills up by tapping on the icons on the management panel. Each alliance can equip up to 6 different skills per match during Ark of Osiris. Using a skill requires energy bars. Each skill has their own cooldown. Some skills are so strong that you can only use a total of once per match. Both sides gain energy points as the match go on. Once there's enough energy points that have been accumulated, the alliance gains an energy bar. Alliances suffer heavy troop losses will get boost to their energy points. I love it. Only alliance leaders and titled officers can use the skill. I actually dig that too. Use it wisely, as the skill expertly timed may turn the battle in your favor. That is very true. These skill effects of running charge, war drum, and mystical formation are removed immediately upon entering the stronghold. The skill effects of running, charge, war drums, and mystical formation are removed immediately upon entering the stronghold. That's an important one to remember. 15 powerful skills have been added to Ark of Osiris. Alliance leaders and title users can now use these skills to turn the battle in their favor. Spend energy bars to tear down, tear down to dismantle that important structure, or cast Valiant Stand to hold your ground. The choices are yours to make. I think that this is going to add a brand new facet to Ark of Osiris that is completely out of this world. Each team might find the perfect setup of combination of skills that are based on their strategy. Not every team hopefully not every team will end up using the same skills. Hopefully the skills are good enough so that there is a diversity of people, of teams using diverse types of skills to do certain things differently. I'm sure that a few of these skills will be standard for everybody, but the fact that officers control it, the fact that you gain energy bar through the match, and some of these skills are only one-time use, others can be used multiple times. I love it. I really, really do. The important thing is that you can equip 6 out of 15, which means there is tons of permutations that you can use, different combinations that you can use. So there is plenty to experiment with, to play with. And now that hopefully Ark of Osiris practice mode will come out soon, we'll get a chance to be able to practice these skills and figure out how they work better. This just adds another facet into the mechanics of Ark of Osiris that I'm really, really looking forward to figuring out and understanding how to combine in our strategy these skills. Now, there's going to be skill details in game once that's available, and you'll be able to see them there. In here, they've left us hanging, waiting for the update. Number 4, Lost Kingdom optimizations. Eve of the Crusade, Stage 1, governors can now trade with each other scraps of patchments they already own. Sweet! Finally, I can find someone who has way too many of the damn Zeus sculptures. Give me some of those. What do you need? Take that. And we don't throw away that many scraps. Listen, the one thing I hate about Stage 1 is that usually by the time you're done with it, the more you have done it, the more expensive it is. But more often than not, you'll end up wasting stupendous amounts of AP on scrap that you were not able to turn in because you were missing one piece. I've seen people that ended up with over 1,000 scrap pieces getting thrown out the window. Can you think about it? If each barbarian you killed gave you 1 scrap and you throw away 1,000 and each barbarian costs you 30 AP, that's 30,000 AP out the window with nothing in return. I mean, yes, you did get the XP out of killing the Marauder and you got the little rewards you get like gems and speed ups and whatnot, sure. But the main reason you're killing Marauders actually goes to waste. So I like that now you can exchange, we can find people and try to minimize the losses. Past Glory Stage 3, after the Crusader Fortress is rebuilt, governors can now continue to donate sculptures. This is something we're already seeing live right now. If you guys haven't gotten there yet, just so you know, Season 3, you can now do Past Glory, exchange your sculptures. I am on the fence whether I want to exchange all my sculptures available or not. I'm definitely not putting in the legendaries. I did already all the blues and all the greens, I believe, but I'm not entirely sure whether I want to donate the purples yet. I don't know whether Rise of Kingdoms is serious in the future about more exchange events, and I feel like the reward we get out of an epic sculpture in terms of 5 tiles of resources is probably not worth it. For sure not worth the legendaries. 50 pieces of whatever resource it is for 1 legendary is outrageous. I'd rather use them as gold stars, as cheap gold stars, but they're still there. Anyway, I like this a lot. 10 out of 10 on both these improvements. Very good work. So far, this update is by far one of the top updates of this year that's been announced this year, and they're starting the year strong with a very, very, very good update as of right now. Improvements to Ark of Osiris. Governor who leaves Ark of Osiris midway will no longer have their points reset to 0. Sweet! So if you get stuck, if something happens, if you're lagging, you want to leave and come back because things are that bad, then you can. I like it. Great optimization right there. When the Ark of Osiris is ongoing. Governors who go offline for more than 5 minutes will be forcibly removed from the match. Does this mean that they can come back in later? Does this mean that in exchange a stand-in can come in? What does that mean? I understand why you remove them. I mean, you don't want AFK people just taking space in the server for no reason. If you, for some reason, your battery died or your internet died or you're just lagging too much and you can't log in, this is not a bad optimization. I'm interested to know, though, if they could make it so that a backup can come in. So if someone within 5 minutes can't, then they get forcibly removed and a backup can come in midway. This is an interesting question to ask Lilith. After exiting a match, cannot join the battlefield again for 1 hour. So this is, I'm assuming, at the end of a match. For people who tried to get in and out, I'm a little confused because in here it says that you can leave midway and no longer have your points reset. Does this mean you can come back? Or does this mean that after 10K you can leave the match and not come back into it and that's that? It's a little confusing. From what I'm understanding here, this means that you'll keep your individual points, which means if you leave, you'll still get your individual rewards, I'm guessing. This means you get kicked out after 5 minutes and you cannot go in anymore. So this is kind of weird. These 3 points need a little bit of clarification for me. After picking up the Ark of Osiris within 15 minutes, if your opponent did not manage to steal the Ark away, and if you did not complete the escort, the Ark of Osiris will disappear automatically. After some time, the Ark of Osiris will spawn again in the center of the battlegrounds. I love it. They're forcing you to drop that Ark. You cannot keep holding onto an Ark a whole match and take it out of the equation. Frankly, I think it's too much. I think that it should be like 5 minutes. 5 minutes in which the carrier of the Ark, in which the Ark was not dropped off of a carrier, gone. That gives me plenty of time to go back to your outpost, and that's that. You know what? I'll give you 10 minutes. 15 is a little long, but even 15 is better than nothing. I personally really like this. I do. Other changes. Lucerne Scroll now grants rewards at level 80 plus. Okay, so those who spent the money, the $20, get the extra points and finished level 80 like I did a few days before it ended and kept getting points with no rewards. Now you'll get rewards. Sweet. I like it. Improved calculations in Sunset Canyon. Governors who are ranked closer to the top will now lose points in full when defeated. They are no longer protected by losing only half the points. Okay, interesting. That's cool. I like it. Alliance leaders, titled officers, and current defense captains can now all appoint other governors inside the Alliance structures as new defense captains. Good. So they fixed this. First, it was like anyone can do it, all these 3 people, and then they made it only for officers and leaders, or only officers and captains, and now it's all 3. I like this. This is good. This is nice. I would like to potentially have an option where, you know, an individual can request out of the defense captain to become captain. So if the defense captain is not paying attention, he can get a pop-up like, X person asked to be the captain of this, and if you click OK, it essentially puts that person as the captain. Small idea. Made small adjustments to the legendary accessory Skolas Lucky Coin. Its damage absorption has been increased from 300 to 500. That's a 66% upgrade on the damage absorption. I still think this is way too low and the coin is way too expensive for it to be worth it. But they're going in the right direction in making it worth it. But that coin, I don't like it. I don't like this. This is one of the only things in here I don't like. Troop save slots increased to 15. Woo! Hell yeah. We even have a video from Rise of Kingdoms showing us right here. Take a look. You can see the extra. Sweet. The only thing I want to know is how on earth do you pick which the other ones, right? Because it says here there's 5 slots, right? And 15 of them. So how do you pick the rest out of here? Because this is how you load and set up, but how do you pick them? That's going to be an interesting one to see. Or do you set the 5 here and then you have to go in here and choose? I don't really know how you choose yet any others, but 15 slots. Woo! Hell yeah. We've wanted this for a long, long time. Readjusted the volume of all music and sound effects. Okay. Scouting reports can now be shared to other chat channels outside the Kingdom channel. Ooh, this is interesting. Lilith, for the love of God, can we make so that scout reports stack in one place rather than massive mail? I keep not getting reports of wars, and people keep losing reports of wars because they get scout bombed and the report shows up and then scout, and it disappears because too many scouts come in. Fix that, please. Make sure that scouts don't like kill your battle reports. Allow battle reports to be somewhere else so that they're readable and the scout reports don't kill you. Alliance markers that are in use along with their users will now be displayed. What? Alliance markers that are in use along with their users will now be displayed. Sure. I don't get this. We'll have to figure it out a little bit later. If you leave an alliance during Shadow Legion event, your alliance credit will be reset to 0. If you leave alliance during Shadow Legion invasion, your alliance credit will be reset to 0. So not only your personal points, but also your alliance points get zeroed. Interesting. Improved chat system. Now governors will not lose their chat history when switching devices. Yes. Yes. Must first delete the game from the device, then re-download the most recent version. Sure. I'll buy a new phone and a new computer. Please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys have no idea how many times I record or I'm on the computer streaming and people message me and then I close the computer, go back to my phone, and I miss messages that come in days later when I randomly check my messages on the computer. Thank you. Chat, this is, in my opinion, one of the best updates we have seen in the last 365 days. One of the top 3 for sure. It's a great way to start 2020. It's a fantastic way to start 2020. And yeah, I'm very happy with 99.9% of the things that I'm seeing here. The few things that I'm a little concerned about is how is this going to work? Who's going to get the first essentially run at all this, and how the heck are we going to be able to cover this? This is going to be an interesting one to figure out. I like this a lot. As long as, you know, the kingdoms and whoever it is running the show kind of figures out how to divide these things and how to set it up so that everybody has a chance to do this. Kind of like you have with Guardians. I like it a lot. And Ark of Osiris skill system, 10 out of 10, adds more diversity, adds more complexity, and adds more fun into the Ark of Osiris mode. It requires much more skill now to get to that top tier, understand the skills, understand when to use them, and all that good stuff. It's not only about tier 5s and the types of commanders you have. Lost Kingdom optimizations were both great. Really, 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 really great. This one's already live, and this one, well, it's okay. It's okay. We'll take it for next time. The improvements for Ark of Osiris, I really like this a lot. Although 15 minutes seems to me a little much. You can drop it to 12 or even like 10. These 3 are a little bit of a question mark. I'm assuming this is kind of like, if you have individual points and you leave, you can't come back, but you still get the rewards. If you are offline for 5 minutes, you're disconnected and then you can't come back anymore, which that one is a little iffy. And what happens if any of these are triggered? Can a backup come in? That's a question we're going to have to ask. In other changes, Lucerne Scroll extra rewards sounds good to me. Improved calculations of Sunset Canyon. It's okay. It just makes that the people that are up on the top are going to lose much more points. But again, for that, you have to beat them. I like it. It's a good thing that they're continually thinking about all these events and how to improve these events. That they're not just, okay, Sunset Canyon, done with, over, forget about it. No, they're consistently thinking about how to improve them. So I'm okay with that point just because it's a way for them to keep working on this event. Alliance leader titles and all that can now swap defense captain. Again, I would really like to see the ability of requesting to become captain, and one of these people have to approve it. It can be like a pop-up on the screen or something like that. Or even, you know what, a pop-up on top of the building itself so that the defense captain can pass by and say, oh, damn, there's a thing here. Let me swap it. Or let me not swap it, you know? The whole Skullus lucky coin thing, I'm against all this. I think this is a waste of materials, and honestly, you can do much better than a 10% 500 damage absorption with 3 epic gears that you can build instead of building this. Friendly advice, my opinion at least. Troops save slots up to 15. Hallelujah. I love it. Readjusted volumes. Okay. Scout reports can be shared. Okay, I like it. I'm okay with it. We've been screenshotting them up to now, so cool. Alliance markers can now be used. This I didn't get. Shadow Legion now resets your alliance credits to 0, so you don't just bail out on your alliance to try to get points somewhere else and then come back and all that stuff. And finally, yes, improve the chat system. Yes. Chat, let me know what you guys think, or folks of the community, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this update. I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Thank you very much for watching this. Not that short, but pretty in-depth video about this update. I love it. Thank you all for being awesome, and I'll see you sooner rather than later. Take care. Peace.